Hey guys, this is my video about my 10-day Vipassana meditation course and my experience. Um, so I took the course in Chiba, Japan. I flew in from Kauai where I was before that, and I arrived on the second day because I was on the waiting list and they kind of responded last minute, so they allowed me to come on the second day by 1 p.m. And I arrived, they took all my stuff. All I had was my clothes and like my toiletries. And I talked with the manager and like one of the people that were serving the course a little bit while I had lunch. And then after that, my noble silence began. So um, I set up my bed and everything. Um, and Shortly after that, I did my first meditation. I was pretty glad to be there on my first day. Um, I was like super hungry and and exhausted from my flight and being in a different time zone and all that. So I felt great the first day. The second and third day were a little bit tough. The technique at that point was basically just focusing on your breathing, anapana. It's called, and there's like small modifications to that each day. Um, the first 3 days were kind of like confusing. I didn't really understand the whole technique. They didn't really like it might have been on purpose, but they didn't really give you an overview of like what to expect or anything. It was kind of like, okay, today's day one, you're gonna do this, or day two, today's day three, you're gonna do this. Um, and for those of you who don't know, you get 2 meals a day and a snack in the evening, and you meditate for about 10 hours a day, and then you have discourse from the teacher Goenka in the evening. That's recorded. You basically watch a tape of him saying, okay, this was your day, this is what you did. Sometimes he would tell like encouraging stories and all that, but he wouldn't really like look ahead too far, you know. Like each day would bring its own modification to the course. Um, so days two and three were a little bit tough. I had a lot of questions in my mind, thinking like, oh, Krishnamurti says there's no path to truth, and methods make the mind dull and stupid. And I had that in my mind, thinking, is this a method that's gonna make me dull and dumb? Um, but I did want to push through till for the 10 days. And then the fourth day came, and at the end of the fourth day, we learned the actual Vipassana technique, which prior to that was just preparation. Um, and you have to scan your body from your head to your toes, um, and and they begin the 1 day or the 1 hour sittings without moving, which was so grueling. I I thought to myself, am I abandoning my body, putting myself through this much pain and suffering? Like, is this necessary? Am I hurting myself like deeply? Um, and I really hated it. I was shaking with pain because I tried to sit for the whole hour, and then afterwards I spoke to my teacher and asked him if it's necessary for it to be so painful, and he said that the pain is good, but if it becomes too much, feel free to change your posture, but do your best to try to sit without moving. or sit with, try to sit without moving as much as possible. Um, so then I would start changing my posture like when I really felt I needed to. Before I kind of just like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit of pain, I'm gonna move my posture, switch my posture. And then days 5 and 6 were better because I felt free to change my posture when I felt like it was too much. Um, and then kind of by day 6, I was like not taking this technique as seriously as I was before. I'm like, screw this. I'm not gonna torture myself. I'm kind of gonna go with the flow and like not put so much pressure on myself and not like I would be like afraid to like disappoint the teacher before, and I'm like, forget it, I don't care if I disappoint my teacher, I'm gonna like do what feels right for me. And again, I would still try to sit as long as I could without changing my posture. I ended up probably changing my posture like once or twice. In the beginning, maybe 3 times, but as I got better, once or twice. And then around like days like 7 and 8, I started to be take it more seriously and like be more diligent with it, um, which was good. My mornings were terrible. I would wake up at 4 a.m., which I did not like, um, and I would feel like just like completely confused and just like not in control. I felt like. And then after lunch that we had at 11 a.m., I felt a lot better after that. I felt like that was enough time for me to like recover from my disoriented state in the morning. And then I can like meditate more seriously after that. Um, let's see. Um, during the sittings, that were very painful because you have to sit on a meditation cushion on the ground, and keep your back straight. Um, I would experience a lot of what they called sankharas, or or I assumed that these were sankharas. Like if I'm to accept what they say is happening, then okay, these were sankharas. I'll but my mind. Okay, so they describe these sankharas as these deep cravings or aversions that you have like in your unconscious, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe this is just like my mind distracting me from the pain, uh, and creating these like pleasurable sensations and scenarios in my mind just to distract from the pain. But like towards the end, I was like, okay, this Sankara thing sounds like it makes sense. Maybe that's what it really is. But like when the sittings were really painful, I experienced so many like distracting thoughts, scenarios running through my mind in the future, like sexual thoughts, um, anything that would distract me, like conversations I might have in the future, plans for the future. What am I gonna do when I leave this place? How am I gonna navigate through Japan? Um, and yeah, I guess I thought that they were just distractions at first, but then they kind of started to go away, and they were like not as strong by like day 8, day 9, day 10, and I could sit without really having any of them. So that told me that either they were just distractions and I got used to the pain, or they really are sankharas that are deep unconscious cravings and aversions, and I did really kind of like get rid of them by bringing them up and like letting them dissolve. Um, and by day 9 and 10, I could sit. I remember having 2 sessions where I sat, doing the whole body scan and making sure my back was straight for an hour without moving. And on the 10th day, I actually was like in a very good mood. I was kind of like that's on the 10th day is when we had the noble silence lifted, so we could talk to people again. And I was chatting with people throughout the day, and um, this one guy was like annoyed by how I would like gulp and like swallow during the meditation, and I just couldn't help it. Like it would just happen automatically, but for some reason it would bother him so much. And I guess I was kind of like in a humorous mood during that meditation, but like the pain just did not bother me. I almost like enjoyed it to a degree, and I was very equanimous with it, which means like I didn't crave or push away the pain. But I guess I did. I didn't crave it, but I kind of almost enjoyed it. It didn't bother me at all. And there was quite a bit of pain, but like it didn't bother me. I mean, it was less than before. Like you definitely notice the pain go away as you continue the Vipassana meditation. Like the whole idea of anicca, which means impermanence, you really get to experience that and see how the pain goes away. But it for me, it took a while for that to kick in. Uh, um, at first, it didn't go away. Uh, so yeah, I felt like the course taught me not to have such strong aversions and such strong not to have such strong aversions for pain, and not to have and discomfort, and not to have such strong cravings for pleasurable things. Um, but that pretty much sums it up. I think I'm gonna make another video about some other like complaints maybe about the course and questions I have regarding things that were said that I've been like pondering about. But I think that sums up the course itself. On day 11, we just did one sitting and had breakfast, and then cleaned up. How we helped clean up. We got assignments to like clean up certain areas and help out before the course was over. And then basically we got taxis, or we got shuttled to the nearest bus stop, and we were out of there. So I felt at the end of the course, I guess I was kind of proud, or accomplished or whatever, but I was also really anxious, and I felt kind of even triggered again by people, because I guess I don't know, I guess like everybody's not in meditation mode, and now like life is beginning again. So I don't know, I feel like things were coming back. So obviously it didn't heal me like 100%. I still have traumas to deal with and all that, but I don't know. I'm still kind of confused about it. I still kind of don't know how I feel about it. Because a part of me feels kind of apathetic after the course. According to what I've discussed with people online, it's something that goes away eventually, but I don't know. I still have kind of mixed feelings about it. I do feel like it helps me get through difficult times, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel like it confused me about so many other things, because in the past I was kind of like I felt guided by my sensations, maybe too much, but like I feel like there's a felt sense that you have inside of you, kind of like an intuition that tells you at any moment like that this is what you should do or what you shouldn't do. And I feel like being equanimous almost ignores that. It's like, I don't know, Goenka says that sensations are they just have the quality of arising and passing away, arising and passing away. He seems to not give any importance to sensations, so that kind of confused me because I put so much importance on sensations before. But anyway, I'm probably going to talk more about that in another video, so thanks for watching.